This user was having a challenge using the if is blank formula construction, showing as false, even though the cell it was pointing at was displaying nothing. Let's take a look why this is. So here's the user spreadsheet. Pretty simple timesheet. Date, time clocked in, time clocked out, the total time worked. Then here on the right, they've added the expected start time, expected end time, with those two, the expected duration, and then if there's any discrepancy. So we can see here, they worked an extra 5 minutes, an extra 30 minutes. Here they checked out 30 minutes early. Here is where the user was saying they were having the problem. So the formula says to look in cell D6, scoot over, cell D6, and if D6 here is blank, to output nothing. Otherwise, to subtract G6 from D6. So we can see that D6 looks empty, so the user wants it to output nothing, but it's actually displaying this. It's going down to the next part of the formula. Let's look at D6. Okay, that's also a formula. That's tracking if something is blank in C6. C6 is actually blank. There's no formula there or anything. And if I come down here and test is blank, true, C6 is true, D6 is false. So what's going on is, unfortunately, the empty string as an output counts as something being in the cell, which does seem a little bit odd because even if I look at the length, it says 0. However, using is blank on that cell returns false. So, unless you want that behavior, I always suggest that instead of returning the empty string, you actually return nothing. Now, we can see that this cell immediately cleared up because D6 is now blank, so it's returning nothing. Again, though, I'm going to want to return not the empty string, but a true blank, like that. And I'm going to go ahead and copy that to the rest of the cells in this range. So now it's outputting nothing. And over here, I want to do the same thing because all of these cells are outputting the empty string, which we just saw why that can cause issues. So we're not going to see any visual change here, but if I'm going to go through and clean up the rest of the sheet, this is what I want to do. And now you can see as well that once I made all of these output true blanks instead of the empty string, this all outputted blank as well. So let me put that back. There we go. So right here, this is outputting the empty string. And now it's outputting a true blank or nothing. And these formulas as well are working properly. So if you're seeing something weird with an is blank construction, check to make sure that it's actually a truly blank cell and not just a cell that contains the empty string. As well, go through and clean up your empty strings. I hope this helped.